Hey guys, welcome back to Two Cents.
Yeah, welcome back.
I'm Lima,
I'm Alex.
and we're excited to be talking with y'all again for a new episode.
New episode, new day.
We got, yes, another day, another sleigh, like I like to say. This time our setup is a bit different because we are both in our respective homes.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah. And we're doing this over FaceTime and Discord.
Yeah.
It took us almost like half an hour to set up all the techie stuff. Well, when I say we, I mean Alex setting everything up while I'm just snacking.
Yeah. But I just want to see if it's going to sound good or not. Because like new, so if it sounds weird or off, now you know.
But yeah, don't mind me. I might be snacking a little bit on some nuts. I love me some good nuts.
She does.
Anyways. But yeah, so how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Did a lot of homework, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you did.
Slept, ate, showered, just a huge.
Yeah, me too.
What about you?
I mean, literally same. Homework, basically half the day, and then shower, ate, and now we're doing the pod.
Yeah, we showered together too.
Well, not like together physically, but like at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, today's actually kind of our rest day because it's like a, Sunday rest day, reset day, as they say.
Yeah.
And we're actually on our break now from school. They call it a reading break because you're supposedly supposed to do, you're supposed to read and do homework. I mean, I do, but I think a lot of people don't because, they just want a break, which is like fair enough. But yeah.
Yeah.
We have that coming up, which is super fun because we love a good break. But the thing is, ours is really early compared to all the other universities, which sucks. But
yeah, it's like so weird. It's like, why so early? Like you still have like 2 months full of pain.
Yeah, I know. Of pain.
Yeah.
But yeah. So for today, I think we're just gonna be chatting about caring what people think.
What do you mean exactly?
Like caring just what people think about you and versus kind of not caring what people think. Because I feel like everyone's like different with that. They see it differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll just like chat about that. Yeah, so like for me personally, it's hard because I'm someone who cares a lot what people think.
Wait, so you're going first?
Oh, I guess so.
Okay.
Or do you want to go first?
Well, you already started, so might as well go first.
I guess so. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I just tend to care a lot what people think, which I really hate because it's just it really sucks. Like it's annoying and it's like, it affects you a lot because you're like constantly in your head and just thinking about it,
Yeah.
And I feel like I've always been like this. Like even when I try not to and like I try to change, it's always like in the back of my mind and I just hate it. It's just so annoying.
Or why don't you just like
not like everyone says? Okay, the thing is, it's not that easy. Like it really is. And I know everyone's always like, oh, like you shouldn't care because everyone cares about just themselves. Like everyone's too worried about themselves. And it's like, yeah, that is true because everyone's always just thinking about their own things and how they're looking and perceiving to others. But like when you're in the social situation, you can't like remember that. Especially for me, I'm always thinking like, oh my God, everyone's judging me and like looking at me and like they think I'm weird or whatever. And I mean, that might be my anxiety, but I don't know. It just sucks like that.
What about when you're like presenting presentations?
Oh yeah, that happens a lot too. I'm always like, oh my God, am I standing weird? Like they're probably judging my outfit or my hair or how I look like. It's just so bad. It's just those thoughts. Like they just like happen. It's like you almost can't control them.
I see.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of like what I have to deal with basically on a daily basis. It's not fun.
Well, for me,
what about you?
I think I'm kind of different. Like, obviously, I do care how I look like and stuff. But at the moment when I'm living, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, he has something like magical, like I'm like, I don't know what he's eating. I don't know if it's some pill, but I want it.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's like, why care what people think? You're only going to see them for that 1 second or one glare and never see them again. Or if you do see them again, you're never going to talk to them or like be friends with them or have a conversation or have them in the future in your life. So why care?
I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's easier said than done, as they say. And I don't know. I just like, I see a lot of people like this. It's like that duo of people who like the person who cares a lot and the person who doesn't care. That's kind of like us.
Yeah.
And I always wish I was the person who like didn't care because it'd be just so much easier because I feel like you just like live for yourself, you know, instead of like living for others almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like for you especially, like you always just do like whatever you want. But yeah, I just like he literally just like he doesn't care. Like he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Excuse my French.
And especially like with you, like when I'm with you, I don't care about anyone else. Because why care about anyone else when I care about you the most? So that's why like whenever we're at school, I'm like kissing you and all that. And you're like, oh my God, there's people. But I'm like,
yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, we starting again? No, that's true. But I think also part of it, I think it's just a girl thing. Because I feel like girls tend to care more than guys.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least, I don't know. I feel like, don't guys tend to only care more about what their like friends say about them?
Guys?
Like for some guys?
Like in general, guys just care about like getting girls and like looking good, like physically. But they only get to that point when they can't get any girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like for girls, there's so many other things to like always be caring about and like thinking about.
Yeah.
And obviously it all has to do with society. It's literally all because of society. Like we were all taught these like standards and rules that we have to always be looking perfect. Like your outfit's perfect, hair's perfect. You have to be so smart and kind and all that.
Yeah.
So obviously when you're like different or you don't fit that status quo, you always feel like people are like probably judging me and like everyone's looking at me weird and stuff. Honestly, I think most issues with humans comes from society.
Mm-hmm.
Like we literally created these problems.
But
like that's why I like to blame everything on society.
Do you feel any difference like with me now? Because I always tell you look really pretty, but you actually do look really pretty. Like even if you're wearing sweats or even if your hair is messy or whatever.
What do you mean? It's never messy. I'm just kidding. No, I actually do. And I think like getting with you has helped me because he's so like nonchalant and doesn't care. I think it's starting to like rub off on me.
Yeah.
You're like almost influencing me to be like more like you in that way.
Yeah, like
which is really good because I want to be like that.
Like nonchalant?
I think it's just, you're rubbing off on me. And I think I have actually become less caring of what people think. I don't know. Do you think you've seen a bit of change in me? Yeah. Do you guys know that thing where it's like the boyfriend effect is like the girl makes the guy like glow up basically. And then the girl effect is the girl glows down. Yeah. And I think it's because they're so comfortable with the guy. So they just don't have to try anymore. But yeah, that's so true. Because like he obviously makes me so comfortable. So I'm like, it's not like I don't try, but it's just like, I don't feel the need to like impress him or something. Because like I've already have, you know?
You still do try a lot when you're going out or like something like that.
Yeah.
Which I tell you, like, don't try. Like, you don't have to try for others.
Mm-hmm. And for me, it's like the smallest things. It's like, oh my God, this one outfit I'm wearing to like the grocery store. I'm like, oh my God, everyone's going to think I'm weird. But then he literally tells me like, it's fine. Like, who cares? Which that is true. It's like, I don't know. It's even those smallest things that are so hard to like not care about. Like
last week, you're going to put like your headband or something or like that. And I'm like, no, just take it off. Just put a ponytail on.
Oh, my hat.
Yeah, your hat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, just put a
because I was I was having a bad hair day.
And then at the end, I'm like, did you see any change or anything? Did your life change? No.
Yeah, it literally was nothing. And it's like, it's not like people are actually going to go up to you and say stuff unless they're like horrible. But it's just like, you just think that's what everyone's thinking. And you know, I read like a quote thing and it said, your worst fears of what people are like or sorry, what was it? Let me try to remember. Oh, it was like people are scared that others might think or say the stuff that they think of themselves like the worst. Like if you think like, oh, I'm so ugly or something, you're scared that people would think that or say that to you. Yeah, because I also saw a thing where it's like also what you like think about yourself, obviously, you're like projecting that out. So people will start seeing you in that way, which that's like also a whole other thing. But yeah, I was also going to mention as an example is like, okay, I'm hairy. I'm a hairy gal.
Harry Soils.
You sounded like the radio, the BBC one. Welcome back to BBC One Radio. Sorry, guys. Are we going to get copyrighted for that? Or just joking? We might have to cut that out. Anyways, but yeah, I'm a hairy gal. It's the Arab in me. It's the brown girl things. I'm sure you ladies out there will relate. But yeah, I'm very like insecure about that. And I never go out anywhere with like showing my hair like without shaving. But Alex here has started to teach me to like just go out, even if it's like random places. Like I don't need to shave. Like who cares?
Yeah, it's like it's just a couple of hairs. Like no one's gonna go up to you and be like gross. Yeah, except for me. But I always play doing that. I'm always joking.
You better. No, he is, guys.
I don't really care, to be honest.
Yeah,
like, if you want to look good for me, sure. But
yeah.
There's other girls' legs I can see if I don't want to see hairy ones. Psych. I'm just kidding.
Guys, he jokes a lot like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like those small things. And also, I think, like for me also personally, I'm always scared of what people think, especially for people like I know, like people I always see or who are around me. Yeah. I don't know why, but I especially care what they think, even though like I don't, because sometimes they're not even close to me. So whatever they think or say doesn't mean anything. But like, I still feel like, oh my God, I'm always scared of like getting judged by them.
Yeah.
You know, especially like the people in my work, like I've told you before.
For me, like my parents and my sister and like brother and my dad always say stuff about me, like body image wise, but I don't really care. It's like, you can say whatever you want. I can like literally roast you back, but I don't because I'm not toxic. Like I'm not gonna say something just to devalue yourself.
Yeah, like get down on their level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens with his friends too a lot. Like sometimes they say things to him and I'm like, you could like clap back at them so hard, but he doesn't because that's not who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, it's just like, it's hard. It's just because like, I feel like for me, I want people to like, I don't like people having like a certain like idea or image of what they think I am. And obviously you can't control that because everyone like has different images of you. Like everyone sees you in different ways, like depending on who they are to you. But like, I don't know. It's just the thought of like someone thinking something bad of me or something like incorrect or like just having like a bad view of me. I just don't like it for some reason. And maybe that's just also like an anxiety thing. That's why I think I care so much because I always want to present myself to be this like, like put together, like nice, like who I truly am. But like, I don't want to come off of as anything that like I'm not, you know, which they might think that I am. But yeah, Alex is just getting some water or a drink or whatever. But yeah, I think that's also my biggest thing with like people judging me. And that goes for like people who like I know or in my environment. I just like, I don't know. I just can't shake that feeling. It's so hard to not care. Like I always say like every time I go out of the house, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to care today. But then I always end up like the thought just creeps back into me and I just can't help it. I don't know. I think it's like, how did you do it? Like, how did you stop like caring and just like, how did you become who you are now?
I used to be well known back in school.
It's the side burp for me.
And yeah.
Also, you're a popular one.
Basically. But like around high school, I was like, this time I actually want to not care. Like randomly because I switched schools. So I'm like, oh, it's a fresh start. Then I stopped caring like about talking with people, getting in spotlight and stuff like that. But everyone knew me still.
Okay, famous boy.
Yeah, basically like everyone knew me around school. Because I'm guessing
So you're the popular guy.
Yeah, but they wanted to know me, but I would never talk to anyone. So I was like the mysterious dude. But yeah, after that, I was like, all those people didn't really do much in life. Like, they're probably like, I don't know, putting in gasoline stations or something, fixing cars at a car shop. Like, they didn't really study or do big things in life because those were the popular kids, or some of them. They always had their parents to like put them in jobs, positions. So it's like, I'm like glad I didn't stick around like that because I don't like that. I like to like do things to achieve the end of it. Like, I don't like easy stuff. Like, that's why I got into
You like
computer.
a challenge.
Yeah, that's why I got into the computer science, because I knew it was going to be hard, and I know it's hard currently, but I still like the challenge.
That's good.
And I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, like, people just wanted to know me and stuff like that, but I didn't care. And honestly, it didn't change anything in my life. I still did what I wanted to do. I found things I like to do. I did a lot of things on my own. So, like, you don't really need people's evaluation to evaluate yourself. You just do what you love to do whatever you want to do. If people don't like it around you, who cares? Because, like, let's be honest, when was the last time I ever talked to a middle school or high school friend? Never. Even if I see them out in the street, like randomly, like encounters, I avoid them because I'm like, I don't want them to see me because I don't want to talk to them.
That's real. I'm telling you guys, we're a gassy, burpy bunch. But hey, we're a very inclusive and open, safe space here. So you guys can fart and burp and fucking poo as much as you guys want. Like, I mean, be open about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's actually really true, everything you said, especially about like the people valuing you. That's so real, because I feel like that's another part of it. It's like we care so much what people think because we want to like what they say about us. It almost like puts like value in us. It like makes us worthy almost. It's like they deem how like worthy or valuable or like pretty or smart we are or whatever based on their like judgment, which is so like bad. Like, it shouldn't be like that at all.
I think that comes a lot from like the school system, because like when you do good on something, they're like, wow, good job or something like that. So you're like, you think as a kid like, oh, I did something good from somebody else telling me that I did something good.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that. It should be like,
yeah, that's actually so true. And it's especially like when like you do something like everyone claps for you, or like you get an award, or like
it's like an adrenaline.
Or like the teacher like or the teacher like points you out when you do something good or bad. It's like, see, that's something. I feel like it just all comes from society, from like humans, the school system. Like, we're literally taught this, like, especially because our society is so about appearance and looks and what we're doing, that like obviously everyone's gonna be so into like everything they're doing. They're gonna be so picky about it because they're scared of what people will say about it. Like, and even though, like, if you just really think about it, literally shouldn't matter. Like, nobody should give a fucking. If nobody did, I feel like everyone's lives would be so much easier. Like, everyone could literally just be chilling, doing literally whatever they wanted, because nobody would care what people think. And like, when we say that, we mean like in like those bad, like negative thoughts of like, oh my God, they probably think I'm like so ugly. Like, not like if someone's giving you like a actually good opinion or like constructive criticism. Like, we're not talking about like that. Yeah. We're talking about like the bad, like like being obsessed, over obsessing about it and all that, you know? But yeah, I honestly just wish everyone could have the ability to not care. It'd just be so much easier, because then we could all just be chilling. But unfortunately, we can't, because people are still judgy. Like, it's not like, I know everyone says like, oh, people don't like care and stuff, but some people do. And sometimes they do say stuff like that. Like, they do judge you or say something really mean or like negative, which like, obviously that's a reflection of who they are. Like, that's their character. And like, they obviously don't know the rule. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's the worst, when like, you're like so scared that someone's like judging you for something and then they tell you, that's like the worst. It's like your worst fears literally coming to life. And I think I've had that happen to me a few times, and it's all been at work. I don't want to say anything too specific, but my work environment is not the best. It's very toxic. It's very cliquey. It's almost like high school.
Yeah.
So it's like the people there are just very judgy, and I don't like the environment there at all. That's why I just always feel so like on guard, and I can never relax there because it's just like I feel like they're like watching my every move, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there any specific place you feel like a little bit like on guard, a little tense, or like that you think you might care a little bit what people think? Or are you just like chill everywhere?
I'm just chill everywhere. Like the way I am with you, I'm with everyone else. And if they don't like it, that's their problem. Because you know my friends, like I've showed you like messages, what they say. They can be like literally toxic, but what the F?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You literally have like a magical power because like, yeah, all the things your friends say, like that would get to me right away. Like you literally don't care about it. And like whenever we go out in public, you like never care about like anyone, if they're looking at us or if they might be saying something, if we're doing something weird or like if we're being too coupley or whatever. But I'm always like scared. I'm always like, no, like we can't do that. Too much people around.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm like, I really wish I could be more like you. But I think I'm getting better because he is helping me. So a tip I would say is be around people that don't care and they'll actually really help you.
Yeah, like for example, let's say I'm like kissing you and hugging you or something like that in line and there's a kid behind us. You'd be like, no, there's a kid behind. I'm like, who cares? Like the kid should know that. Like he shouldn't be taught as little like, that's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It should be like,
because it's literally normal.
Yeah, it's like two people love each other. That's it. It's normal.
It's like showing emotions.
Yeah,
like it should be taught.
They shouldn't be like, oh, don't see that.
Yeah.
Or like it shouldn't be seen as bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I also hate when like some things are very like not condoned or like taboo to do in public because like people will judge or like what will everyone think of you? Like what will everyone say? When it's like who cares? Like it's literally like we're taught that.
Yeah. And then there's like, I was gonna say like, and then there's like, you know those like shirts that those little kids have that are like weird?
Oh yeah.
It's like, why is that acceptable, but some other things aren't?
Yeah. That's a whole other episode. That's like talking more about like sexuality and all that. But yeah.
I guess, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's literally like, yeah, why is like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like society literally picks and chooses what's like acceptable and normalized and like, oh, that's appropriate. But like, no, you shouldn't do that. Or you're going to be like an outcast or you're going to be weird. Like everyone will judge you and stuff. Even like, I feel like our parents, they always like tell us like, they always teach us like, oh, don't do that. Like everyone will like, what will people say about that or whatever?
Yeah.
And I know like, personally for my culture, I think it's like that for a lot of other cultures. My culture is like so big on gossip and it's always like, especially like with like the women in my culture, they're always like, oh, like, don't do this because like everyone's going to be talking about it. Like everyone's going to talk about you if you do that because they like gossip a lot. They talk about each other a lot. They're basically just always judging.
Yeah.
And like I've had many cases where my mom was always like, oh, like don't wear that or don't do that because it's like inappropriate or like people are going to be like looking at you or something. But I'm like, who cares? Like they should just mind their own business.
Yeah.
You know? Like, is it like that in your culture too?
It is for like women, I guess, because like obviously, I don't know, something with the women in society that they try to make it look like they try to normalize what guys do, but from women do, they don't.
Yeah.
Like if a guy is, it's okay for them to be with like hundreds of women. Well, if there's a woman with hundreds of guys, it's bad. Yeah.
She's seen as like the horrible one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that's literally so true. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just like that. I don't know, man. It just sucks. Society is the worst. And all these standards that are put on us and we always have to be like, you know, like following them and whatever. It's just like, I feel like it's almost like a like it's like a virus in like our mind that's always just making us care what everyone thinks of like us and our appearance and what we're doing and what we're saying and all that shit. It's just like, it's honestly exhausting. Like after a full day, I'm like, oh, like I just need to be myself. I need to unwind and rest and just like not care for like a bit. But yeah, also guys, Alex just ran off to get something, so that's why it's kind of quiet on his end. So I'll just be like pulling the weight. But yeah, I don't know. Just it's really hard. And like I know there's probably like a lot of advice out there. It's like, oh, how to stop caring what people think, like blah blah blah. But I'm like, I think I've also like tried following them, but it's hard because it's like your mind is so used to it and it just always goes back to it. It's like almost like an addiction. It's like your mind is literally addicted to it and just can't like let it go. It just keeps going back to it because that's like the only thing it knows. But yeah, Alex is back, guys.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I was just saying how caring what people think is like a virus to your mind. It's like an addiction. Like you always keep going back to it. I feel like that's why it's so hard. Like even if you follow all these like tips and tricks, like unless you like really do the work and like you truly stop caring, I feel like that's the only way. Like you did. Like I feel like it has to be like a switch inside of you. But it's just hard, man. It really is.
Yeah.
The society sucks. It sucks ass. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything you wanted to particularly add about like your own point of view of it?
Well, I had like a thought process, like a thought when you're talking about parents.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it's just like, it's like generationals. I think it's generational things that carry on through generations. Of like, oh, if you don't do
it's
this,
generational
you don't do
trauma, babes.
If you don't do this, you're not gonna be that. If you don't do this, that you're gonna be seen as this, blah blah blah, and it's dumb.
Yeah,
and
yeah, no,
dumb.
that's so true. No, that's literally so true. Like it's always passed down through like every generation. Like I said, generational trauma, babes. But yeah,
sure. Big words.
Especially.
Just kidding.
It's okay. We'll break it down later. But yeah, especially like when you said that, that reminded me of like when your parents are always like, you have to be a doctor and lawyer and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, like everyone's gonna like, what are people gonna think of you? Everyone's gonna be like judging you or whatever. Like obviously they don't say it like that, but like that's what they're basically saying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, especially for like minority families, like everything they tell their kids or like everything they're doing, it's always in fear of like people saying something bad about them. And I feel like that's such a sad way of living. It's like you're always like living to please people.
Yeah.
And like not yourself.
No, also like stuff like that. There's like stories of like recently, I don't know where it was. I think it was like in the United States. There's this like university student from like India or something like that killed his whole family because he was not going to graduate this year and he didn't want to disappoint his parents. So instead of like failing, he like murdered his whole family. And that's like, that's how much pressure they put onto people.
Yeah, literally.
It's like crazy. It's like, it shouldn't be like that. Like if the parents weren't like that,
crazy.
They would still be alive.
Yeah. Damn, that's actually crazy.
I know.
Yeah, that just shows how like, especially kids are so scared of just like doing anything wrong in fear of like what their parents will say and like that they'll just like judge them and everyone else. Yeah. And like the example I also think of is like when you don't do something that's like normalized or like traditional, like if you don't go to college after graduating high school, or if you like don't get married first and then like move in or have a kid with your like partner, but instead you like move in with them first. Everyone's always like, oh, like your parents are like, oh my God, like what is everyone gonna say about that? Like, that's so bad of you to do that. Even though it's like, it's literally not, that's literally just what they want. Mm-hmm. It's just because it's so like traditional in their minds. That's like, oh my God.
And also like stuff like that, like being super traditional, it never ends well. Like how can you be with somebody without even knowing how it's going to be living with them and stuff.
Yeah, like it honestly doesn't make sense. And honestly, we have a whole nother episode for like traditional things that we're going to be talking about because that's a big one. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. Is there anything else specific you want to add? Because honestly, I think I've just said like my feelings around it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me,
it's just really hard.
I just don't care what people think.
Yeah.
Like I still do have like
occasional.
Yeah, like some thoughts like, oh my God, how do I look like? Or how's my hair? But
that's like normal. Yeah. That's like But
that's because I know it looks bad. Or like
yeah.
Like let's say like, for example, I know I forgot to put deodorant. So obviously I'm going to be panicking if I don't smell like BO. But that's normal stuff. But like stuff like, oh my God, how is he going to look at me if I sit here in class? Like, I don't care about that.
Yeah, no, that's actually a big difference. I feel like, just like those small appearance things that like you have occasionally, like that's normal, especially if you know it's like you like aren't looking the best or something that day. But like, I feel like the deeper of like caring what people think is like everything you do, like your actions and what you say and your behaviors. And that's what like I struggle with because I'm always overthinking what I'm saying, what I'm doing, literally how I'm like moving, how I'm walking and standing there, especially like in social places like at school and work. I'm always like, oh my God, do I look weird like standing here? Do I look weird eating this?
Yeah.
I'm like, do I look weird eating like this like snack or whatever? Do I look weird like just standing here literally on my phone? Like even though I'm on my phone, I'm always like subconsciously like just thinking, worried what people think. Like that's how like deeply ingrained it is in me. And I feel like it's like that for a lot of people. But yeah, like mine is that bad. Like I'm always like my mind is always working. It's always worried. Like it's like scanning everyone. And I'm like, I don't know. I think there's something like there's a word for it. Or maybe it's also, I think it's part of that is anxiety too. Because I also have anxiety, which will be another episode that we'll talk about. Yeah, but I'm just always like so worried of how people perceive me. Like of just literally just existing and breathing. But yeah, that's like a way deeper level than what you were talking about.
That's why with like when we were getting to know each other, I'm like, can you just be 100% with me? Like I like literally forced you to do it.
Yeah, like he had to like force me to just be so real because I was like, so like, oh my God, I hope I look good and blah, blah, blah.
But I was like, I don't want to like, obviously I want to be friends with you, but I didn't want to be like you to feel uncomfortable and not yourself.
Yeah, which is really good. And also something I was going to mention when you said about your like the deodorant thing, I think it's also like, especially for me, when I like know something looks bad, like my hair or outfit, or it's just like not in place or something is like off.
Yeah.
I especially like my mind specifically focuses on that and it convinces me that everyone can see it and everyone is like staring and judging at it. Like, I don't know if that's like how you feel sometimes when you know what looks bad, but I feel like it's just our mind tricks us into thinking everyone is specifically looking at that thing because it's like us. And I think that's again, like we're just projecting our own fears onto like people. And we're thinking that's what they're thinking also. But it's actually what we're thinking, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a horrible loop of just constant craziness in your mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys can relate on this. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are like Alex and a lot of you are like me. And maybe a lot of you are like in between us. But yeah, I'm sure everyone has dealt with this or still is dealing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is not fun. But yeah, I don't know. Should we try to end on some type of tip or how we can help them?
Sure.
We can all each just say something.
Well, for my tip, I'd say just remember this is your life and you only have one of them. So why don't live for other people? Live for yourself and live for people you love for. Like, for example, you.
Yeah.
Help people like you that you love. And yeah, like, you only have one life, so just do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. And like, I always think it's like people are gonna like forget. They're not gonna remember what happened. Because honestly, like at the end of the day, everyone is really just focused on themselves and just worried about their own image. And like they say, we're literally like on a floating rock, and like everyone has a million things happening. Like they're probably gonna think about you like a millisecond and then it's like done, you know? And it's like, yeah, just don't waste your life. Like,
yeah, to add a comment on the floating rock, we're actually not floating. We're orbiting around the sun, but at the same time, we're moving across the universe because the universe expands indefinitely. So yeah, we're just constantly moving in space. That's another topic.
Yeah. Wow, science with Alex.
Yeah.
But anyways, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Just don't care what other people say. Like,
yeah,
they can say whatever they want. Don't let it affect your life.
It don't matter at the end.
Because look, what's worse? Someone else saying something bad to you and them knowing they said something bad and like doing whatever they want with their life, and then you feeling bad throughout your whole day? Or do you want to forget what they're saying and live happy throughout your life?
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great note to end it on. Uplifting
what about you?
One.
Any tips?
I mean, yeah, honestly, you said the best ones. Like I said, just like they are gonna forget about it. They have too much shit happening anyways. Everyone's too focused on their own problems and issues.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The best tip is YOLO.
Yeah. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thanks so much for listening with us and tuning in.
Yep.
But yeah, I really hope you can relate somehow, and I hope our tips and experiences and stories helped you.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think that's it for now. Please follow us on everywhere you listen to podcasts.
And like us and give us 5 stars.
Rating, yes. And send in your own takes and stories about caring what people think or not caring and all that.
And share.
And again,
share our podcast with anyone you know.
Everyone. Like we say, every living being.
Your dog.
Your cat, your ex-dog, your ex-cat, your ex-grandma, your ex-grandpa, your ex's ex, your ex-friends, best friends, cousins, moms, dad, like, you know, everybody. Yeah. Okay? It doesn't matter.
Everything.
Yeah. Literally everyone. But yeah. Please share, give us a 5-star review. And again, send in your critiques and anything you want, suggestions or anything, or any podcast episodes you'd like us to talk about too. We would love that also. But yeah, I think that's it for now, guys. And we'll see you in the next episode. All right. Bye.